Welcome to Hi Felicia. Hi Felicia, hi Felicia.
Welcome back, Felicia.
Welcome back.
Did I just alert you?
No, it's just loud.
Because you're wearing headphones and you're not used to headphones.
Right.
You missed last week, and we had an amazing person fill in. And if you haven't heard last week's episode, I highly recommend it. Our son, Lennon, killed it, right?
Yeah, he really shocked. I mean, he was great.
He was
Very
great.
well-spoken.
We're getting great feedback. And funny, yesterday we took him to experience a Titanic escape room, and he had the time of his life. We escaped in 30 seconds we had left, and I will still say I hate escape rooms. I hate
There's
them.
definitely moments when you're...
I hate them so
yeah,
much.
when you're at like a breaking point where you're like, can we just
done.
go?
I'm done.
Casey and Lennon killed these. Casey was the star of that
Well,
escape
of
room.
course.
Carried it.
Of
But
course.
if this escape room, we went
Never
to
would've
one.
escaped. We'd still be there if it wasn't for us.
We went to one this past year for his birthday in Rockville Center, but this one was at the Source Mall in basically Westbury, and it was really it was classy. It was high end. Things were moving. Water. We felt water. Like the water was coming up the boat.
I had hypothermia for a minute. It
we,
was the real
we were in the
Titanic
boiler room.
experience.
He had so much fun. So, Felicia, what's been going on with you? Because I feel like you've been so busy.
well, I had friends, Kathy and Carla. Hi, Kathy and Carla.
Do they listen?
Kathy does. Yes.
So just remind everybody, they're your friends who
Kathy
you
and
met
Carla
in Greece.
that I met in Greece. Penny knew them from the year before. They're really fun girls that are both single, so that's why we seem
they're
to now.
single?
Their husbands passed away.
Okay. We're all in the same boat here.
Well, we are.
Excuse me?
You are in the same boat.
Yeah. Anyway,
Do you guys when you're together at the clubhouse, are you looking at the men and talk? Do you guys
No.
talk about men?
not.
Like if a handsome man walked in the room, would you guys be like, oh, check him out? Just like, oh, he's handsome.
but mostly with young guys.
Okay, yeah, because you're not going on a date with him. You're just looking.
Right. There are
Eye candy.
I can't look at any of these
Altacacas.
The visions I have of that just are not pretty.
Because if I'm out with my girlfriends and we see a cute guy, we're like, oh, he's cute. It doesn't mean we're making moves. Don't worry, Casey. But I'm assuming all of you are in your 70s.
Oh, late 60s, 70s,
All
early
right,
70s.
I'm sure you still have a little, desire.
I can appreciate a good-looking
Okay.
young guy, especially.
So your friends are in town.
They came in Monday, they left Wednesday, and, we went to Port Jeff. But the
Oh.
weather was,
the weather was...
the weather, I mean, we thought we'd be at the pool, blah, 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 not happening.
Were you playing Mahjong with them?
No.
Rummy Cube with them?
No, they don't even know what Rummy Cube is.
What?
No, they don't. So
What do? You just eat and have Cosmos.
basically, kinda. Yes, I brought the
nothing wrong with
Cosmos,
that.
and we ate out at night. Penny cooked a lovely meal Monday night. I made a salad. She gave me.
You made a salad?
She gave me the salad job, which came out very nice.
Never
Anyway.
seen you make a salad.
It's
That's
really hard.
exciting.
It's really hard to buy a bag of lettuce.
So it was a
and-
bag, and then you added
I added
toppings.
everything. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But we had a lot of fun and, exhausting. And then yesterday I joined a bunch of girls playing Mahjong at the club.
Tell everybody how last week when you weren't with us because you had game day, Felicia, do you know this, Casey? Felicia won.
I won 3 games.
She won 3 Mahjong games.
Which was, they thought I was, they kept saying, you're lying, you know how to
Hustling
play.
Mahjong.
Yeah, I'm
Guess how much
hustling.
she made?
Well, I
Guess
have
how
no-
much money she made?
Well, we play $5 a game, which does not make me, not a game. Yeah, $5 for the total. And once you run out, you don't have to pay.
So how much did you make? $3?
I probably.
I know it's not about the money.
It's not.
But I can't
love of the
believe you
game.
won. I think you need to get me more into Mahjong.
Nah. Here's the problem.
The
Yesterday,
Cut magazine just did a whole article how millennials are now getting into Mahjong.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's Ellen's game, her friends, and she got me in there because they're really nice women.
Oh, so they were pissed at you.
That I won the first.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't pissed. They were happy. But one of the women that we played with yesterday, she's been playing for her whole entire life. And she was like snappy and she's quick and she's like, and Ellen got like shaking and I just looked at her and said, oi. But all the women, I can't drop names.
Obviously not.
All the women seem to agree that she is like a little overpowering.
Okay,
Anyway.
but she doesn't live in Country Point?
Oh, we all live in Country
Oh,
Point.
okay. I mean, we
yeah.
didn't. Okay.
I knew her, which is why I never wanted to play with her because I knew that was the way it was. But
Okay. Well, I just want to say this. This is a big moment today. A lot of my listeners have asked that I discuss some big, major moments of the week. And in honor of Karen Reed, we invited your friend Karen to join us this morning on the podcast because we're all going to Chappaqua today for your grandchildren's graduation party. And Karen has declined because she said it was too early for her. Karen, it is 9:58 in the morning. But wake the F up.
No, but she's exhausted. She runs all the time. And
she runs? She's running?
No, not.
She's running?
Not physically running.
Where is she running?
She's running between her mother and
Okay,
and Westchester.
I'm just saying, Karen. In honor of Karen Reed, I want to take a moment. Did you and the Alta Caucus discuss Karen Reed at all?
Not at all. They don't even know who Karen Reed is.
Do you know?
I saw. Yes,
you
I
know
saw
the big deal.
Yes, I did see it. I also saw the news this morning, and
What was the news this morning?
Well, just the hoopla of her winning and coming out of court. I mean, you might have thought she was like a celebrity.
She is. Listen to me. I want to take a moment.
I think the whole thing is ridiculous.
That's
but okay.
ridiculous. This poor girl was going to go to jail for being framed. Basically, cops clearly did this. Okay, I just want to take a moment. The country. We are all relieved, Karen. This is a message for Karen. Karen, I hope you hear this somehow. We are so relieved you are free now. I hope you stay free of any autoimmune flare-ups. I hope you have remained healthy.
Jesus Christ.
I hope you get some good rest now. I am exhausted.
You know, there are
I
more-
am in my moment. I am in my moments. Please, quiet on set. Please, okay? I hope you get the rest you need. My message, Karen, is please don't do Dancing with the Stars if you get offered Dancing with the Stars. Please write a book or consult on the movie that Mark Wahlberg will probably direct and produce. Boston, okay? Karen, we love you. We are happy that you're free. And I'm thinking of you. I'm talking about my listeners, okay? That's my moment. What do you want to chime?
Can I ask a question?
Could I just say there are more important things going on in the world?
Right.
Mom, but we don't talk
Period.
about that on this podcast.
No,
This podcast
Let
is
me
about
ask a
pop
question.
culture zeitgeist moments.
Okay.
What is going on here?
You believe Karen Reed was innocent, right?
I believe there was enough reasonable doubt to not prove her
Right.
guilty.
Do you believe the defense's narrative that she was set up by the police, that
I
the
do.
police did it?
I think the police didn't
Then
kill
who-
him. I think they accidentally and threw him in the snow.
Okay.
I just wanted to send a message. That's it, people. Okay.
No, I'm just curious because, you don't believe that there's a chance that she accidentally
No.
ran him over and that
No.
it wasn't intentional.
She doesn't deserve to
doesn't
be in jail.
remember it.
She doesn't deserve. She does deserve. She's got the DUI. She's
From a
guilty
legal
for being
perspective,
drunk.
from a legal perspective, it was a case with holes in it. It was hard to prove.
Yeah.
That she had the intentions to kill him.
She didn't have the intentions to kill him.
But what really happened?
We'll
That's
never
the
know, and
question.
that's why she's not guilty. So let's move on. Okay, I can't believe
Move on.
you Alta Caucas aren't
on.
discussing Karen Reed.
No,
fine. We're moving on.
Move on.
Fine. I had a big week. I had one day in the city with a lot of celebrity sightings. So I went to meet my cousin Lisa, who is in town from California, who's a big fan of the podcast. Shout out, nod to Lisa. So great to see you. We had lunch in Union Square. It was lovely. Then I had a meeting at Zero Bond. Zero Bond is basically like the Soho House. It is a private members club in the city downtown. I'm walking into Zero Bond and I see a very, very tall man. And I'm like, you don't know who this is. I'm like, that has to be Jesse Solomon from Summer House. And he's walking towards me. And I'm like, I have to say something.
Did you?
I was like, Jesse Solomon? He's like, yeah. And I could tell he just wasn't in the mood.
Oh, so I would have backed off.
But we walked into the same place. I was like, he's going to Zero Bond. Of course he's going into Zero Bond. Zero Bond is like a petri dish for celebrities. Like Kim Kardashian's been there. You see everybody there. So I walk in, he walks in, and his people he's waiting to meet aren't there yet. And I check in and he says to me, where are you going? And I explained to him what I was doing. I was going to meet a venture capital firm. And I think he was kind of like, oh. And then I said to him, are you returning to the house this summer? And he just grinned. He didn't say anything. He just grinned.
Which means he's not allowed to say, but he is.
He is.
Right.
And then I said to him, Jesse, I know a lot of your camera crew. My boy Travis, who was on Long Island Medium with me, is your camera guy. And he was
Really?
like, Travis is a great guy. And
Wow.
He nodded. Then his guys showed up that he was meeting. And we got into the elevator together. And I overheard him telling these guys he's very tired. He took a red eye 2 days ago. And they were like, oh, where were you? He was like, I was in LA. Jesse looked tired. He's so tall, not as handsome as I thought he was, but he warmed up to me. And then when I exited the elevator before he did, he said, have a nice day. He was very nice. So, Jesse, thank you for being kind. I hope you had a nice meeting and I hope you recovered from the red eye. I understand I've had many red eyes this month. Then I went to Watch What Happens Live.
Right.
I took a client to see Watch What Happens Live. The guest was Haim, the band, their three sisters. They were adorable. They're big fans of Bravo. Before the show begins, Andy asks the audience, does anybody have questions for me? And the person I was with was like, Ashley was like, ask. I was like, I don't have any questions. She's like, ask who his dream guest would be that he hasn't had. So I asked. And unbeknownst to me, he said he's never had Madonna or Beyonce. And I can't believe he's never had Madonna.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Good
about
answer.
I'm surprised about the Madonna thing. Beyonce, I kind of get, but Madonna, I thought
they were like friends.
I guess. Anyway, we're wrong.
Yeah, Dolores. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. The episode comes out on Tuesday night, but Dolores was the mystery housewife guest. Maybe I shouldn't be revealing this.
How's she look?
She looks great. They're great.
I want to cease and desist.
Yeah, they're great. It was a really fun night, and then I had dinner at Little Prince.
What is Little Prince? I never heard of it.
Just like a cute little place.
Italian?
It was like American. But there was some burrata. There was some tuna tartare. It was good. Then we went to Marie's Crisis, which is my favorite piano bar for all Broadway sing-alongs, and I did a little shop, a horrors medley. This is every gay man's dream. This is heaven. This is where they filmed Younger, and my friend Ashley was like, oh my God, I've never been here. She had a great time. Oh, also the bartender at Watch What Happens Live was the author, James Fry. Do you remember James Fry, Casey?
Was he the Thousand Little Pieces?
Million Little Pieces.
Oh.
Did you
I undershot the Little Pieces.
Did you read that book?
Never did, no.
Oprah
told me not to.
Well, first she told you to read it. Do you remember this?
No.
At the time, I was sober, okay? And I lived and breathed for this book. I thought it was amazing. I read his sequel. I think it was like My Friend Leonard or something. That was about rehab. And I thought it was great. And everyone now says he's like the first guy that was like ever canceled, like in the cancel culture that we always talk about. Like he was fully canceled.
Why was he canceled?
Because it came out
bad.
A lot of the book was a lie. Like he fibbed a lot of the book. So this new book, he has a new book out.
Well, he has to say it's fiction.
So but it wasn't. He pitched
put it as something
nonfiction.
else.
And it was... Stupid. It was great. It was really good.
It would have been better.
It was about drugs. It was about addicts. It was about
All
rehab.
But
and it was
if he would
great.
have said it was fiction, he would have not been in any
I know, but he didn't.
problem.
So this new book is fiction, and it is about how awful rich people are. And he was the bartender, and he seemed really out of place.
Uncomfortable.
It was weird. He looks older. He's like, I believe, 58. He looked really skinny, and I was just like, ugh. I felt bad, actually. He just seemed...
By the way, do you have good seats?
I mean, there's 3 rows at this place. Come on.
You're right.
You've been there
did you
before.
sit in the...
Yeah, we sat like second row.
Okay.
It was great. It was great. So yeah, I thought it was super interesting. I was going to read the Fry book, James's new book, because I do love a book about rich people, but the reviews are horrendous. Horrendous. All right, let's get into some Hollywood news. By the way, I haven't started watching this. I want to.
Which show?
Did you watch the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader?
No, I'm not watching that.
No, I didn't know if you saw season 1.
I did.
Oh.
Well, but I said,
do you remember
this again?
Do you remember how little they got paid?
Yeah, like nothing.
Well, apparently it gets revealed on this season. I haven't started yet. I'll watch it. I liked it. They get like a 400. What are you watching, Casey? No, feel free to tell us what you're watching.
It was some Hulk Hogan internet reels. I apologize.
Why are you on your phone?
Well,
He's bored.
Yeah, you guys got to really pick this thing up.
I mean, I thought my celebrity sightings this week were pretty entertaining.
It was a little long.
So, oh my God, because I don't have a lot of news and I didn't watch anything this week. Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders are getting a big pay raise, like 400%. Very happy for them. Nick Cannon is taking over for Will Arnett for Lego Masters. Will Arnett's probably like, I'm done. Let me do some scripted shows.
Yeah, let me do some adult shit.
And now Nick Cannon does nothing but hosting. And honestly, I didn't think there was any exciting news this week. So let's get to Uncircumcised Gems, what we watched this week. This has been a very busy week. Felicia, did you watch anything this week?
Well, I didn't watch anything substantial, and nothing substantial. What I watched, the girl, because nobody wanted to watch anything stressful, anxiety-ridden,
Appreciate
whatever.
this.
So,
Oh my God, you wrote it down. I'm so proud of you.
I was afraid if I forget, I have nothing to say then.
Well, can I just say something really quick? I thought about this morning. A lot of times I don't really want to talk to you during the week because I want to save it for the pod. But then I
Right.
realized you don't remember anything. Because like yesterday morning, I spoke to Felicia and I'm like, we're recording the podcast tomorrow morning.
I don't remember
7 o'clock last night. She's like, so we're not doing the podcast this week, are we? I was like, I literally spoke to you hours ago.
And you screamed.
I was really
at me.
upset.
You screamed.
I was really upset.
Because then I have to get up earlier, and it was like, oh. I'm tired, Marni.
The people want to
The
hear
people.
from you.
Okay, so
I just keep hearing how many people love the pod. Carly, my friend Carly's training for a half marathon. She's like, I listened to the High Felicia while I'm on my run.
I just
People
The
listen.
numbers drop dramatically when Felicia's not on the episode.
I don't
True.
believe that.
Yeah,
Not-
numbers dropped last week.
Oh God, ridiculous. Anyway,
Keeping this thing afloat, Felicia.
All right, so what did you watch?
I watched
Is
some-
this a Korean thing?
No, not
okay,
yet.
Great,
Wait,
great.
not yet.
You cue that. You cue that.
something called Like Father on Netflix with Kristen Bell and Kelsey Grammer.
You're kidding me.
I don't know how old it is. I have no idea. We just
I think it's old.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think it is also. You know, it's a father-daughter thing. He plays her father.
2018.
There you go. But
Oh, it's a movie?
Yeah.
1 hour, 43 minutes.
that's why.
That was perfect.
That's because we couldn't watch episodic.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
So you guys watched the whole movie?
Yeah.
Good for you.
And then we watched. It
Was it good? Do you recommend it?
was cute. If
Okay.
you want to light watch, it's
Okay.
cute. And then we watched Nonna.
Oh, with Vince Vaughn,
Vaughn.
which is based on a true story.
Yes, it is. Which I didn't realize.
So you didn't see the CBS Sunday Morning piece about
I guess
this?
not. No. Well, that
Very, very interesting.
now that you can't get into that restaurant now.
Oh, is this the one in Staten Island?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've been
town.
wanting to
So,
go there.
Yes.
would you ever be a Nonna and cook there?
Make a salad.
Your favorite chicken parm?
Felicia's making a
No,
kugel.
if I don't make my own sauce, I can't go walk into that store. You have. It's
How was it? How was the movie?
Explain what this concept of this restaurant is for those that aren't New Yorkers.
He loses. Eventually everybody dies, and his family always had big Sunday Italian dinner.
Sunday
and
sauce.
when his grandmother passed away, he really obviously missed it, and he decided to open up a small restaurant, and he invited 3 or 4 older women to cook and see how that experiment, and that you see them fighting because they're old and blah blah blah. It was cute, but the most of the women that were on there, Talia Shire, which by the way she's 78.
I don't know who that is.
Godfather, Rocky's girlfriend.
Rock Adrian?
Yes.
Shut up.
No, seriously. Brenda Vaccaro,
Lorraine
Lorraine
Bracco?
Bracco, yes, and Susan Sarandon.
Susan
Sarandon, which
That's a great pronunciation of her.
I didn't say it right.
I didn't know Linda Cardellini's in this
Yes,
too?
yes,
What
yes.
Joe Manganiello?
Yes. And
What a cast.
Kathy and I, apparently Kathy is an idiot savant like I am, and we only know entertainment news. And it was very
I'm blown
cute.
away that this is Adrian from Rocky.
I know.
I'm blown.
I know.
Oh, she was one of the Nonnas?
Yes, because she's like 78 or something. We looked up everybody's age.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
other than Brenda Vaccaro, who I knew had to be old, I was shocked that
Who's
everybody.
Brenda?
Vaccaro. She's been around.
She's not in the lead.
She's she's one of the.
Oh, here
Nonnas.
she is.
She's
Okay.
85
Yeah,
now.
she's,
And she looked good.
Damn.
Susan looked like she was in her 50s.
Oh, she looks good.
I mean, obviously.
Who does she play? His mother? Another Nonna?
She's the dessert maker, but
okay.
she's Nonna. But she's, anyway, she's nobody's because she never got married. Well, she
So the true story is this guy opens this restaurant in Staten Island, and it's true that, by the way,
It's a rotating cast of Nonnas, apparently.
Yes,
Like
yes.
every
Now
the
he-
menu
couple
changes.
weeks,
the menu, and he has
changes, and they
different,
bring in different grandmas.
and he has
to-
different ethnicity.
Right. So
Right,
there's
so they'll have,
Jewish,
like,
there's Greek, there's Italian.
Italian,
They'll have a
there's
Korean
Indian.
Nonna.
But what was interesting on this, I believe it was CBS Sunday Morning. He said there's like no money.
None.
They make no money.
Probably not.
The money.
Hard to get into. I looked into it when we had
there-
guests last
Did
summer.
you?
I was going to try to go, and it was hard
How
to
did you
get
know
into.
about this
I've known
restaurant?
about this place for a very long time.
Really?
I've always wanted to go. I thought it'd
Oh,
be
forget it. Now it's not. You're
Now
not going
you
to be able to
keep
go.
forget. Now
Do
you.
you think now maybe they can make some profit? How are they
think
not
it's near
making
the,
profit?
I think it's
I
near the
think it's-
Staten Island Ferry, so you can just take the
Right.
ferry.
I think it's first of all. Look, I mean, if I don't know what the real restaurant looks
Small.
like, but from the out,
It is very small.
very,
It's
very,
very
small.
small.
And
And the money that any make just probably goes to all the ingredients.
yes, all
But
the
the
food.
point is it keeps
Gives
these
these
women
people a
busy.
purpose
It
and,
gives keeps these old women busy.
That's the purpose.
They're not playing mahjong. They're
They
not
wouldn't,
pla-
they
what-
wouldn't be playing mahjong anymore. Well, maybe
What do
they
you
would.
mean?
Maybe they would. Maybe they'd be playing.
You're not going to be
cards.
playing mahjong in your 80s. You're
I-
going to be 5 years away from 80.
Shut up. By the way, I didn't realize Lennon said that I was 80. On the,
No. He didn't say you were 80. He said, if I do this submersible, I want to have lived a life like Grammy's age.
but then I heard him say 80.
No, I think he meant he would. No, he definitely doesn't think you're 80, but we could clear that up today at school pickup.
It's like, I'm not 80.
No, I think he meant he'll live a life.
Ellen texted me. She goes, so you're 80, huh? Because she listened.
Did
She
did he
listened.
say she was 80?
Right, we'll have to-
We'll
I
have
think you
to-
should
we'll
flash
have to-
back and play that.
Right.
I would take the risk when I'm old because at least I lived a life.
I love that. Owl.
Like Aiden,
wanna say,
Grammy's age.
Mom, I'm so impressed. What else?
Well,
More.
for the Korean
Jesus.
moment,
Korean moment here. This is important because Miss Lee, our correspondent, has been waiting for this moment.
and I remember I couldn't watch anything with the girls Korean-wise. I watched on Netflix because I couldn't, I didn't have the time really to watch too much, a new show called Mercy for None. However, very little dialogue, enormous amount of fighting, dying, and blood. And the Koreans do it great killing scenes. They really do. They just are brutal. Brutal. It's like a mafia type of thing. And something called Good Boy is on Prime with Park Bo-gum. And I think he's going to die at the end. Spoiler alert! Just from the way it's going. And a few other things.
What's up with Tastefully Yours? Because apparently this did really well.
Well, okay.
Well, what did you think
I
of it?
didn't love it.
You finished it.
Yeah, it was an easy watch. It was okay. I wouldn't go back and watch it again. Maybe because the cast, I have to find the guy really good looking for me to stay interested. And he was just not terrible, but I didn't care for it. I just didn't care for it. Some things I really just don't like.
That's okay. It sounds like you got a lot done, watching wise.
Yeah, I have to stay up
So
until 2
impressed with you.
That don't impress me.
Yeah, staying up until 2 a.m. and then getting up at 7 a.m. is really.
Well, that's your fault.
I know.
You could go to bed earlier.
I can't.
Last night I went to bed at what time? 9:30. Glorious.
Anyway, that's my that's what I did.
Well, I want to say I took myself by myself last weekend because you took my son because you babysat him
Well,
Well,
he babysat me.
to see The Materialists. This movie with Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans.
How was it?
The reviews are decent. I wouldn't call this a rom-com. This is like a romantic movie. I really liked it. You guys, I think I would see it again.
In the
She's,
theater?
yeah. I feel like if I see it, I would see it at home again. Sure. Yeah, I liked it.
What part did Pedro play?
Oh my God.
What did he play?
So she's a matchmaker. What's nice is like, look, all the movies in the 2000s, Kate Hudson's played a girl that works in a magazine over and over and over again, They all play magazine editors, TV producers. She's a matchmaker. And matchmaking is very difficult these days. We know this, right?
Right.
But she's very attractive, Dakota Johnson. Like, I like looking at her. It takes place in New York City. I like seeing the city. I like seeing the wardrobe. And she goes to one of her couples that are getting married. She goes to their wedding, and Pedro is the brother of the groom. And he's in a tux, and he's
Classic Pedro.
And Pedro plays like the one that checks all the boxes. He's handsome, he's rich, he's got a good job, he's old money, he's not new money. He's nice, he likes her. Like, there's nothing wrong with him.
But
And she's got this ex-boyfriend, Chris Evans.
Oh,
Chris Evans was the waiter at this wedding. He's a working actor. He's trying to make it. And she broke up with him because he wasn't making enough money. She's like, I'm not going to the halal food truck for dinner. She like knew what she wanted. She's like, I need a man with money. Like, I'm making money, but I need a man with money. And it's the struggle between, like, are you in love with this person? I don't know. I really liked it. I felt like the dialogue, I felt like they really let it build the dialogue. And like, they had these moments where I felt like I was sitting in a moment and there was breathing room. So I really, really kind of enjoyed that.
I hope it comes streaming.
I'm sure it will become streaming very soon.
Very soon.
I don't want to give any spoilers. This is still out. I recommend this movie. Next, I didn't watch that much because I'm trying to not stress about it. My friend Jamie told me to watch The Better Sister on Prime Video.
Everybody's actually said it was
Let me
very
tell you
good.
something with Jessica Biel and Elizabeth Banks. I really, really enjoyed this. It was better than Sirens. Now what I'm realizing is if The Better Sister was on Netflix, this
It
would
would
have been
blow it
all
away.
this would have been, because it's sunken in Prime. Prime Video is not the app that we're all talking about. We're not running to it. It's not the top of our page. You're not Prime Videoing and chilling. You know what I mean? This
of all,
was so good.
What's pissing me off about some of these streaming services now is like, okay, it's X amount of dollars without commercials, and
Yeah.
all us cheapies now.
You do the ads.
Yeah.
My Prime
Which is
Video
really pissing
my
me off.
Prime Video is with ads.
Yes, I know, because I have your Prime, and all I'm getting.
Sorry, Mom. I pay for everything else.
It's really like, so what's gonna? I mean, really, I love that the advertising advertising companies found a way to slide
They have
in.
to.
Yes, I understand that.
By the way, these streaming companies aren't even making money without the
Of
ads.
course not. And it looks like the ads are made for all the streaming services. They're
Yeah.
not made, obviously, for
Sure,
You know,
they're not like standard commercials.
Right, they're
that
not
air
standard
on
commercials.
football games. I want to
But
say
it's
this.
still annoying.
Elizabeth Banks is a really good actress. Like,
Right.
think about all the roles she's played. I'm like, they play sisters, and they are really, really enjoyable to watch. Jessica Biel is ripped. She's always been ripped. I got to tell you, I met her when I was in high school. She was very good friends with Jackie Tone from Nobody Wants This, who we grew up with, and she was at her house one night, and we all hung out with her. And Jessica Biel has always had like a ripped physique.
This is before she got married to Justin.
Obviously, we were in high school. Like,
Oh,
we were right
right,
out of
right,
high school.
right,
we were
right,
very
right,
young. I think
right,
this was like
right.
seventh heaven. There's two actors in this from House of Cards, Corey Stoll and another guy, one of Elizabeth Banks' romantic partners in this. I'm not spoiling it. The show is about how Jessica Biel's husband gets murdered, and they're trying to figure out who murdered him. It takes place also Manhattan and the Hamptons.
Oh.
And
Is it stressful? Is it anxiety ridden?
it's not like you're thinking, oh my God, could this?
And there's
I don't
no-
know. I enjoyed it.
okay.
It's 8 episodes.
Oh.
I finished it in the week. Now, on the heels of this, Elizabeth Banks has another movie that's out right now that I really wanted to watch before this podcast, but I didn't get to, called Skincare, which,
It was not brand new, by the way. Look it up.
how old is this
I
movie?
don't-
I remember seeing the trailer.
But
Skincare, Elizabeth, it's 2024. I mean, talk about not brand new. Your
well,
movie was
no,
2018.
I know, but I thought it was like older. And
No.
when I pulled that up to watch with
Yeah.
the girls, they all went, yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, it's about how our youth obsessed culture aims to rattle the confidence of an aging woman. I was wondering if it would give me vibes of the Demi Moore movie. What was the Demi Moore movie that she won all the awards for this year?
Substance.
Thank you. Just like the whole skincare. I want to see it. And I
Well,
really,
hopefully it's not as bizarre.
No, but I'm starting to really, it's only an hour and a half. I'm starting to like, oh, but it's a thriller. Like The Substance was a thriller. But Elizabeth Banks, I just was like, oh, I got to respect for her.
Oh, so it's a movie. I
No,
didn't
skincare is a movie.
Okay, great.
Skincare is a movie. That's why I was going to ask you to watch it.
Okay.
Oh, no,
That's a quickie.
That's a quickie.
Right.
I highly recommend The Better Sister. It's prime. Watch it. There's kind of like a storyline, a B storyline. She is an editor-in-chief of a magazine.
Of course.
There's always, and she's very, very wealthy. And her sister is a drug addict, an alcoholic, and she's sober. And chaos ensues, and there's twists and turns. The only thing, I noted this down. Dakota Johnson and Jessica Biel ripping cigarettes. Jessica Biel and Elizabeth Banks, cigarettes.
Oh, they're all smoking?
What the fuck?
Really?
Everyone is smoking.
Why are they doing that?
It's like,
'Cause
why?
it's cool again.
Why are we showing this?
Oh, God.
Why do they have to have Dakota Johnson smoking? And
I've been thinking about this lately
Wait,
because you don't hear about people smoking cigarettes anymore, which is a good thing.
Yeah, but can I just say
they look
something?
a lot cooler than if they were like ripping a Juul vape or something.
Yeah, but
they
can
shouldn't
I
be smoking anything.
Can I tell you something? Here's what's crazy. They're
Nobody
all
looks cool
smoking.
with a vape.
They're all smoking, but in it, they're like hiding their cigarettes. Do you know what I mean? Like this part of is like, oh, I got to find my cigarettes where I hid them so my husband doesn't see me smoking. You know what I mean? Or I got to hide the cigarettes.
Because nobody wants you smoking.
I think it's weird that they're writing this into these things.
I wonder what
Big tobacco is.
you think tobacco's
You think it's
backing?
cool? I get what you're saying. Like it's cool.
Just kidding. I was joking, but like you got to admit it, a cigarette does look cooler than a vape.
But why smoke any? I think they should be
Because
smoking.
big tobacco has people nicotine addicted.
No, they should smoke joints.
Well, that's not
Isn't it legal?
nicotine.
So
Well, because people are addicted to nicotine.
I
and
bet
now
you the
they're
tobacco companies are
product placing.
Yes.
well,
And adding
like,
money to the production, like giving them money.
I'm trying to think if we saw what the cigarette was. Because what?
Well, here's the
Oh,
thing.
would it
Whether
matter?
it wouldn't matter.
All
Whether
major
they
industries pay to have
Exactly.
the normalized. Did you know in the 1950s that the citric fruit industry
I love when
paid
Casey drops
to
bombs.
have orange juice placed in television and movies during breakfast?
Well, they were smart.
They were very smart. But
How
they
do you know
started-
that?
Because it's just a fact. They paid Hollywood.
That's right.
Because like
Well, the
otherwise,
production
people shouldn't be
company.
drinking like sugary beverages at breakfast. Like it's a weird thing.
So
to put
orange juice shouldn't be
Orange
being
juice
drunk?
is not good for you. It's full of sugar. It's just not like something. But they normalized it in television and film in the 1950s. Same thing with like the beef industry. They placed that in. And after enough time, that just becomes normal.
Also, people think orange juice has vitamin D or vitamin C.
It does
Yeah.
have vitamin C,
C.
but there's other sources, non-sugary sources
right,
of
that are
vitamin
better.
C. But it's just interesting how these massive industries, like tobacco, they place their
Okay.
products in film.
And they
to
must
normalize
have
it.
been hurting because a lot of movies did not have any more
Right.
cigarette
I don't know at
smoking
this point if
or
tobacco has the kind of pull to
Pull
do
that
that.
it used
It was-
to?
I think it was more of a writing decision from what you're describing.
Yeah.
But I do.
It
it
felt
is-
a
it
little
is very-
character.
yeah.
I'm stressed. I need to smoke. And I don't know. I don't believe there's any smoking going on and just
in the
like
80s
that.
and 70s,
We knew Sex
that
and the
was
City had a
definitely
ton of
placed in
smoking.
film and television.
I don't know if they're smoking now and just like that.
We went, wait, that's another thing we kind of watched.
Oh, what'd you watch? And just
like that. And Unilateral, it is awful, which I knew from
I know,
from
but
episode
I'm in it for the
one.
nostalgia. I don't know. I didn't mind last
Kathy
week.
texted me this morning. They dropped episodes. I think she
Yeah,
said
the
4
last.
and
Well, they
I
dropped
said-
2.
Yeah,
They did.
that's what she wrote me. I
She
didn't
just dropped. You just said
I
it was
didn't
on-
verify
it's
it.
on. Oh, it's. They come out today.
Well,
And what'd she say?
I think she said they dropped 4 and
Well,
5.
why'd she watch? She
because
texted you
we
that for a
all sat
reason.
there. No, because we watched.
That's a fun show to watch with your friends.
But all we kept thinking was, oh, these women, aren't they I mean, we thought it was an embarrassment. It was just an embarrassment.
Sarah
the
Jessica
show.
Parker was on Howard Stern and she was on Call Her Daddy this week. And I thought it was very interesting. Call Her Daddy is the number one female podcast. I don't know if you heard this, but she had a lawyer years ago say to her, when you sign a contract with a studio or a project, you need to put into your agreement that you get all the wardrobe. And she said most of the studios don't want that because they want it for their archives, but they fought for it. And she has every single piece of clothing.
I know, but
from
they're
Sex and the
when
City.
is she going to wear it? They're beastly ugly.
Mom,
Whoa.
you don't understand why this is so important. There's drops of the clothing from Sex and the City in Carrie's closet right now.
Right.
On and just like that.
Right.
She even of course the internet, thank God for the internet. She wore something like a top and there was a side-by-side picture of her from Sex and the City season 3 in the same top worn differently. And I like that because nobody has a different outfit every single day. You repeat things, you know? So I appreciated that. She's like, look, sometimes if it's a high designer, if it's vintage, she has to return it. But lo and behold, that lawyer was really, really smart. I mean, she should keep it. I'm sure she has a whole storage.
I'm sure she has a whole storage
unit.
unit.
That's
Yeah.
museum.
Right.
That's part of her estate.
Okay. Great.
All right. So
But the show was terrible.
many people agree. I wonder if it'll get picked up for another season.
Oh, God.
I know.
Anyway.
And Aiden is
Awful.
just kind of creepy and giving me a
Awful.
little
Oh,
ick.
yeah.
Just a little ickiness.
Ick.
Little ick.
A lot of ick. I'm getting a lot of ick. I'm getting a lot of ick from the whole show. Yes.
All right, it's time for Bye Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Do you watch The Gilded Age?
I did.
don't.
I
It
did.
starts. this
Yes,
week.
I know. And it's on Max or HBO.
Matt, it's the same.
I know, and which fucking confuses me. But I pay for HBO.
I know.
So explain
Again?
why can't I get HBO Max?
I pay for the Max. I believe you have a profile on my Max.
Yes, but now if it's HBO Max,
Yeah.
and I pay
you don't
for,
need to pay for HBO.
Well-
but it's part of your cable bill. But you don't
God.
need to pay for HBO.
Okay.
That's the problem. You're
well,
paying for cable.
Everybody is confused. Well, everybody at Country Boy is confused.
all of you peeps don't need cable anymore.
I know.
That's it.
We're all.
If you pay for cable and you're scared to get rid of cable, at least cut the HBO and make your bill a little less money
Right.
because you have HBO Max.
But they probably
unless
won't
they start
let me.
cracking down.
Well,
you're
yeah.
in a package situation.
Yeah,
You have HBO on your TV.
Yes.
HBO Max though shows
Do you have a home phone?
no.
See, so you're already separating yourself from
I know.
from all
So
this.
HBO Max not only includes everything that's on HBO, it includes everything that's on TLC and Discovery and all the murder crime shit that you don't watch.
Okay.
So Gilded Age does start. I don't watch it. Is it good?
It's okay. 1 or 2 seasons that I did see, and I never really watched the whole season because to me it didn't matter. Went slow. The characters to me were not that interesting.
Okay, Casey.
Yes.
Tuesday. You don't have band
No.
because we will be home watching. My mom will not watch this. Trainwreck Poop Cruise on Netflix.
I'm listening.
You know, I saw. Where did I see
The
an
trailer
adverti-
is amazing.
Yeah, that was just.
This looks amazing.
You have my interest.
This is about a
I
cruise
know,
where like all the electricity went out.
Everything died, and they were stuck in the middle of the ocean. I think
This is a reason, besides the fact of like now
There's so many reasons why
To not go on a cruise anymore?
especially with 5,000 people.
and getting sick,
And,
the COVID of it all. I never want to go on a cruise ever
What a
again.
I would do
nightmare!
a cruise.
I know you would, because you would be on the cruise that gets you stuck with shit pouring out of the sewage. I can't wait for this documentary. I think it's going to be
You know how many
hilarious.
cruises operate successfully?
I can't.
I know,
It's like all
boy.
planes.
Backup?
I know.
You know the plane
Can't take
bathrooms.
one
You know
bag.
how big the plane bathroom is?
Yeah.
That's exactly how big it is on a cruise ship.
You've never been on a cruise.
And you've never been. And let me tell you.
Why did we go on a cruise then? Like you liked them back in the
No,
day.
because
Tell
you get
us.
your best bang
Right.
for your buck.
Like an all-inclusive.
Yes.
With family.
Yes, but and we took an inside cabin because we did not have the money.
Right. So just this little backstory. Felicia was a travel agent.
Right.
Back in the
A
day.
million years
So did
ago.
you get any discounts as a travel agent?
I don't, Marni.
You must have.
You
a
had
little.
to be 4 or 5.
I
so
was.
think about it. That's
And remember
40 years
remember
ago.
the tantrum I had because I wanted to go to the club?
Absolutely.
Can we just tell this story really quick? We're on a cruise and everybody was sick but me.
Well, when you say everybody, no, it was just Craig. I was seasick. Well, like motion sickness. And I think Craig was also. And we had to sit in the cabin on the floor to have the steak and lobster meal. And because in the dining room, all the windows, if you're sitting in the dining room when the ship is going up and down, it was brutal.
And I was like 5.
And you were 5. And you only carried your usual hissy fit. You wanted to go to the club.
Like kids club?
Disco. Probably not. It was a disco or at the time.
And I remember going. Who took me?
I told Craig to get you the hell out of the cabin, and I don't care if he threw you overboard.
It's so fucked up, Mom.
I was so nauseous and sick, and you're carrying on like a lunatic behind me.
This is hard for me to imagine.
It's real, right?
I just want to dance, people. I just want to dance.
Well,
By the
I
way,
can say
you know
that-
how she is now? At 4 years old, same way.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is...
Well, I'm just listening. I didn't say anything.
Everything she is now, she was like that
Mom,
from the
I
time.
don't understand. Everyone likes me now.
Everybody likes you then. It was hard living with you, which is why when they think I sent you to camp at such a young age,
God,
I was
here we
cruel.
go.
I sent you to camp because
You didn't want to take care of me.
because you needed a constant entertainment. You needed a 10-piece band to entertain you 24 hours a day.
And now all I need is a television and a bed.
I don't think you have to worry about ever going on a cruise because with Lennon's Titanic fascination, I don't think you could ever get that kid on a boat.
Right.
I hope.
That's,
I'm
that's
fine
true.
with that.
That's
He's
true.
not going to be pushing.
So
for
we'll be
it.
watching that. Also this week, you'll be watching with me The Bear
Oh, okay.
and Squid Game.
oh, well, Squid Game. For
That's
sure.
on the 27th.
Right.
The Bear is on the 25th. Big
Okay.
week ahead. So with that, thank you guys for listening. Felicia, thank you for joining us.
It's hard, Marni.
Boy, Casey, it's going to be a long summer.
Oh.
Oh, what? I know you don't want to do this
right.
over the summer. We'll have you pop in. We'll have you pop in.
we'll
We're not
talk
going to do
about
you every week.
Thank you.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
My Felicia, bye Felicia.